This asshole got that formed over.
It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be looking at whether there's going to be a Daniel Salazar and Morgan Jones team up in Season 6 of Fear. We're going to talk about all the setup they've done, and I'm going to explain how their stories could be intertwined. One thing I want to say straight away is that I think it's a complete waste to have these two characters be in one show, in one universe, and not do anything with them together. They haven't really had a scene yet. The only scene they've had is the scene when they first saw each other. They just introduced themselves to one another. Nothing extraordinary happened either in their first scene together. Before Morgan actually crossed over to Fear, way before the announcement came that we would have a crossover, when there was only rumors about a link between Fear and the Mothership show, I did like a fun video edit showing Morgan kicking ass and killing saviors in the original show's All Out War, and I put that together with scenes of Daniel Salazar doing the same, kicking ass and everything, destroying everyone in his way and just being a badass. And I think that's what many people anticipated or expected to see when it was announced that Morgan would be crossing over and when we found out that Daniel would be returning. So we thought, or many fans thought, that we were going to see something like that when they finally met. Now, I wasn't expecting this to happen right away, but at some point during last season, I feel like they should have done something with these two characters together, like working together to defeat the enemy, or even better though, would have been to see a story where they are in conflict with one another. But maybe that's too much to ask for. I was even satisfied with seeing them kick ass together, and we never saw that. Now, if you think about it, both of these characters have a similar background or history in a way where they both saw themselves pulled towards violence in the name of saving people, and both had to get away from it all, from all the chaos and the fighting. So they had to leave the people that they loved so that they could stop hurting people in the process. Because they just couldn't find the boundary. They couldn't find the balance between killing to survive and killing to save and just killing people for no reason. In Daniel's case, it was more about hurting people rather than just killing them, but anyway. And the other thing that both have in common is that both lost someone very close to them that pushed them towards that dark direction and pushed them over the edge in a way. In Daniel's case, it was first his wife and then his daughter. Both of those pushed them towards that dark direction. And in Morgan's case, it was his wife again and his son. So very similar. So with that said, let's talk about how their stories could be intertwined in Season 6. There's actually a scene in the latest teaser that they released that could be a scene of them together. There's this scene of Morgan, the only scene of Morgan other than the scene where he's shot. And in this scene, we have a bearded Morgan talking to someone. And he says, "You don't want to get mixed up in this." I have a screenshot of all of the scenes I'm going to go through so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when I first saw this scene, I thought that the person Morgan is talking to is the bounty hunter that was after him. Now, if the bounty hunter was sent by Alicia, like I think he was, then what Morgan is saying makes sense. Morgan could be telling the bounty hunter about Virginia and how she has imprisoned everyone. Maybe the bounty hunter wants to help him, but Morgan says he doesn't want him to get mixed up in the conflict. Now, with that said, someone pointed out to me that this guy talking to Morgan actually has a beanie hat, while the bounty hunter has a cowboy hat. So maybe it's not the bounty hunter. The scene is obviously very dark, and it's difficult to tell for sure one way or the other. But for the sake of this video, let's assume that we know for sure that this is not the bounty hunter. The only person that has a similar beanie hat is Daniel Salazar. He's actually seen wearing it in a different shot in one of the teasers. So what if it is Morgan and Daniel talking? What if Daniel Salazar actually escaped whatever camp he was taken to and found Morgan? Or better yet, came to save Morgan? What if he's the one that saved Morgan? That would be pretty interesting and awesome to see. Just a quick note though, before we move on, the scene that I mentioned about Daniel, it actually looks like Daniel is trying to escape. So that kind of supports what I just mentioned. But let's go back to what I was saying. What if Danny came and saved Morgan? Maybe Danny actually found the bounty hunter after Alicia called him on the radio. And then both Danny Salazar and the bounty hunter went looking for Morgan. That would explain how the bounty hunter has a sketch of Morgan. He couldn't possibly know what he looks like because he's never seen Morgan. Unless Alicia describes him to the bounty hunter and the bounty hunter sketches him. Something like that. But what if when Danny escapes and finds the bounty hunter, he actually sketches him or something like that. So the bounty hunter knows who he's looking for. So if this does in fact happen, then we will in fact be seeing a story in which Morgan and Danny Salazar, maybe with the bounty hunter, helping them infiltrate the camps and try to get everyone out. So they'll be teaming up to defeat Virginia's settlers group. Now going back to what Morgan said in that scene, I don't want you to get mixed up in this. If this is Morgan talking to Danny, how does this make sense? Maybe Morgan doesn't want Danny to risk his life to go save everyone because, and here's where it gets interesting, because Virginia sent people to look for Daniel Salazar because he escaped. Now you could say the same thing about Morgan, but in a way Morgan is already a dead man. So he has nothing to lose in a way. You know what I mean? But again, all of what I just said is speculative. It may not happen, but I think if it does, it would be quite an interesting turn of events and quite an interesting plot for season 6 of Fear. But let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you like the content, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.